Hello. How's it going? Today is pretty warm where I am. I think earlier when I was coming back home from work, my phone said it feels like 100 degrees outside. So that's fantastic. Um yeah, today playing a new game. It's called Loop Hero. Now, it's not a game I've played a lot of, but I have played it before, I will admit. I have played this game before, which I think is actually pretty rare for games that I've played on stream. In fact, I don't know if I've ever played a game on stream that I've actually played previously, aside from, like Hearthstone or Omega Strikers or something, but I don't know if I would really count those. Um, just doing a quick check, looking through my library. Yeah, I mean, probably the first time. Well, no, Super Meat Boy. I did play Super Meat Boy before, and I played that on stream. I actually played a lot more of Super Meat Boy than I realized, so that was interesting. But anyways, I'm playing Loop Hero today. Now, for those of you that don't know, it is a game published by Devolver Digital, who used to have an E3 showcase. I don't know if they still do. They might. But they're pretty famous publishers, I would say. And this game, oh my goodness. Okay. I'll go ahead and turn the volume all the way up. This game is basically just you run around in a loop, and that's it. You kill things. I think the basic premise is the world has kind of fallen to darkness, I guess. Where, like, I don't know, everything is just messed up. And people have kind of lost their memories, all that stuff. Anyways, you're going to see. It's a pretty simple gameplay loop, and it's like relatively uninvolved gameplay, so it should be a good time. Just sit here, relax, have some fun. So I think the furthest I've ever made it is maybe I beat chapter 1 at one point in time, but that's the farthest. I don't think that's very far at all. So the stars in the sky are going out one by one, but no one notices it. No one can stop it. I'm racing to the last place where there is still hope. I need to make it before it is too late. Okay, so there's a little bit of darkness and void, and looks like maybe there's a person up there. The sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. Okay, so we got some kind of lich, or like dark sorcerer here that is turning everything into void. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. In a place without space, without time, without memories. It's a pretty cool concept for a game, in my opinion. I love the pixel art. Oh my god, it's so good. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. More games need to do good pixel art. Pixel art doesn't need to be crappy, right? Not everything that is pixel art needs to be 8-bit, and not everything that's above 8-bit needs to be like digital drawings, okay? Return to pixel art and hand-drawn things. It's an aesthetic choice. I get it, but I don't know, man. I miss the good old days. Anyways, this is the main character. They have no name. They have no memories. This is them. I wonder if they're supposed to be androgynous. Maybe, maybe not. Where am I? Can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff up in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. Okay, so I can press right click or space to make my character start walking around. And then the day progress bar, that matters for a couple things, I think. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Yeah. And then I think there's some kind of like boss meter. Anyways. A living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remember this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. Somehow I don't think so. Traveling, fighting, and most other actions are done automatically. The player can't affect them directly. Press anywhere to continue. Yeah, so it's kind of like an auto-battler, I guess. Which I think is kind of funny. I actually like auto-battlers in mobile games. So I think, you know, a lot of the fun is just setting up your party and seeing what they do. I don't know. Like, I think there is a skill component to, like, party and team composition. Anyways, let's get on with the game before I start ranting. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's an undigested weapon in the remains of that thing. Indeed there is. You have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. Equip an item to continue. Yes! A game that doesn't treat its players like idiots. Let me adjust my camera slightly as well. I think I remember there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories? Or do they belong to that slime? So now you can place down cards. So these are the main mechanics of the game, right? So you get these cards by killing enemies, and you can put them on the map. Sometimes you can put them on the road, sometimes you can put them on like the background, but they all do something, and then you also get equipment. There's also like a phase where if you're not on the road, then you can like do stuff at the camp, but this is the main gameplay loop, is going around the road and trying to kill the bosses. Oh, I didn't realize that the basic roads actually could spawn enemies. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Every 2 days spawns a rat wolf, Woblamo, forest rat wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few vivid images, and a bit of adrenaline, and I forget it all like a bad dream. I mean, I'll remember it all like a bad... Damn it. Good thing nobody heard that. I heard it. Equip a new weapon and place your new cards on the map to continue. Yeah, so whenever you replace your weapon, it goes away, so no storing things. I'll go ahead and put the forest all the way down there. As you probably noticed, you can get new items and cards during battle. Some items have unique features, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can expect its properties. Equip a new weapon and... Oh yeah, I already read that. So plus 3 more HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. Now this is important, because some tech that I know is that mountains, if you put a bunch of rocks together, you can form a mountain. And the mountains can spawn like harpies, I think. Or maybe it's goblins. No, the goblin, I don't know. Anyways. I'll learn as the game goes on. You'll learn as the game goes on. Everyone is a learning experience. Good. So there's a mountain over there and a forest over here. World's almost back. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. I don't know if I would say it's almost back, but some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on, but not right now. That shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. Continue your journey by changing the game mode. Yeah, so you can use these for crafting at the campsite whenever you're in between runs. I think it's time I get some rest. The game itself is a journey on a looped path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp. Either you or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safer to do so. Retreat to the camp by pressing the button. So, I think if you retreat outside of like the camp zone, you'll lose most of your resources. Yeah, see? There you go. I will keep all my resources. It's cold and dark here. A small fire can solve both of these problems. Nice place to set up camp. This is when all resources you've gathered will come in handy. Who would have thought? You have just enough wood and stones to make a campfire. What a nice coincidence. Build a campfire using the building function while in a camp. Press the build button, select the campfire, and place it. Will do. Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. You can now start your first expedition. Or not, do as you wish. Click anywhere to complete the tutorial. So these are all the things you can build, so quite a few, obviously. So you know, there's going to be a decent amount of content in the game, I think. But there's really only one way to tell, and that is to play the game. This path. Everything is wrong, but I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. If I need to give up and cry to save the world, I am the worst savior of all. Let's do it. Indeed. Nice. Got some equipment. I think my game speed is turned on super high. I don't know if that's ideal, but whatever. That's pretty good. Where's a good place to put the mountains? Probably up here. A beacon. So all units get extra attack speed and extra movement speed. So I think to summon the boss, you need to do a certain number of rotations. So getting extra movement speed is actually pretty good. That way you can move faster. Spawns a chest on an adjacent tile each loop. Enemies on the tiles around it can become ghosts when they die. So personally, I like to put these in areas where they're not going to hit a lot of tiles or a lot of enemies because I don't want to spawn a bunch of ghosts. That's just me. I just realized I got another armor. This one's not as good. I don't know. I think if you just like keep these in your inventory, they'll go away eventually. The meadow. So I heal at the start of each day. Or a grove to spawn a rat wolf. Sure, we'll spawn a rat wolf. And then I think the meadows, you actually get a benefit from placing them around a special tile, but we'll go ahead and put these down. Get some resources. But I guess you also get resources for putting tiles or walking through tiles. So maybe that's something to consider. Is putting tiles in places that you haven't been on this rotation yet. Okay. Oh my god, 2 spider cocoons. Bruh. Okay, there are way too many freaking enemies, man. So I like putting the ones that spawn on an adjacent tile. I like putting them in places that touch a lot of tiles. That way there's less chance they'll stack up. Because if they stack up on top of each other, then obviously it's going to hurt a lot more. I don't like that. Okay. Ah. More defense. Aha. More defense. First, these are bad. Vampire man. Okay, so Vampire Mansion. Here's the thing. Vampires are good in a way because they give you better equipment, but they're also kind of bad because they're really strong. But they can drop really strong equipment. So I'm going to put a vampire there. And eventually something's going to happen. Holy crap. That is so good. Oh my god, the chests are broken. Aha. So I can use this to destroy a thing. I don't really know what those circles above it mean. We're just gonna ignore those. Regen per second versus max HP. I mean, regen per second's gotta be better. Another rat wolf. I don't want that. Oh my gosh, how many spiders are there, bro? Another cemetery. Let's put one here. I'm kind of hitting. Reduces the maximum number of spawning enemies on the tiles around it. Road lantern effects can stack. I forgot about that. Okay. So I probably want to put that near the rat wolves, since the rat wolves can roam, right? So I want to make it so that they aren't stacking up. I feel like this shield's got to be stronger, even though it has less defense. I get extra pure damage, extra counter, and extra vampirism. That seems pretty nutty. Vampirism's a really strong stat. Wow, that's crazy, though. I'm pretty sure you heal whenever you get 20% HP whenever you go to the camp, so this armor might just heal me more than the regen, just from passing over a campfire. Also got these meadows, which are pretty strong. Okay. And the problem is that the enemies get stronger every time you go through one loop, as you can probably tell. Ooh. Put that there. And then put the rock there. Bam, my max HP is going on for days. Another grove. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Because the rat wolves can move to adjacent tiles, so I want to be careful where I put them. Okay, so I'm going to end up fighting a vampire up here, which is pretty spooky. Back off, human. Vampire, where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it. No more lands, no more flock. Only hundreds of years of emptiness. And hundreds of years of hunger. I've seen this cutscene a couple times, actually. But look at the artwork, man. It's so good. Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I can keep my head straight. And you know what I like? I appreciate when worlds or like universes, whatever, make the vampires kind of like, not necessarily good guys, but you know, unwilling predators, maybe. What hundreds of years are you talking about? Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its fill. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this crumbled world right. That's right. I'm doing this not for just myself, but for everyone, in the name of the greater good. So be grateful for my hard work, and just let me bleed you dry. I'm good. But also, I'm taking a bajillion damage. Okay, now this is a weapon I can get behind. And instantly. Instantly murdered. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our settlements prosper. But this won't do it all. Now they're just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently blood of other creatures can't sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures around him were imbued with the power to drain someone else's life. Impressive. Oh my god, extra I have 13% vampirism. That's pretty freaking good. I just healed off of that fight. Aha. Okay. So the treasury. I think the treasury is the thing that you want to place the meadows around it, because I think the meadows get special bonus. Extra attack speed, regen per second, or vampirism. It's also -2 damage to all. I mean, the extra attack speed's probably better, though. What about the vampirism versus the regen per second? You know what? I think I'm going to keep this ring that I've got. I think the extra vampirism is going to be clutch. Yeah, I don't know. The extra attack speed seems pretty good to me. Let's keep it. 9 pure damage is not bad, but... Okay, now we're getting to a tight spot. Would I rather have extra defense or the extra counter and vampirism? I still think I like this shield more. I mean, it's an orange shield, so it's pretty good. Although I don't really know what that means, to be honest. I didn't realize you could rearrange items in your inventory. Pretty cool. So I can keep the ones that I might want to use later. You can kind of cheese with that, right? Like I could put this on to heal instantly. So I think you... Like if you gain max HP, I think you also gain HP. Bam. Blooming Meadows. Now I heal extra HP at the start of each day compared to the normal 2. I gain 3 instead. And it says you gain a random basic resource. So I'm pretty sure that it doesn't matter what tile you place on it. 478 max HP is pretty good. Again, I can use that later when if I'm about to die. Try and heal up a little bit. 2 spiders. A level 2 sword? Are you for real? Oh shit, I forgot to put the rock down. I got 2 rocks now. Another beacon. Alright. Even more attack speed. I don't know if the beacons stack. A road lantern. Another one. Let's go ahead and put one here. Bam! I got a Giga Mountain. Spawns a harpy every 2 days. Whew, these skeletons attack quick, man. Regen per second, defense, and damage to all. So I would lose 7% vampirism to gain regen per second and defense. It's not bad. Plus 5 damage to all and extra counter. That seems pretty good too, to be honest. Yeah, screw it, we'll take that. I don't know how good defense is. I feel like defense is probably pretty solid. But vampirism is also pretty solid. I don't know, I'm a fan of the vampirism stat. Just from a, personal perspective. Because of how much you can heal with it. Another vampire mansion. And another treasury. Ooh, I could like double a thing. That could be interesting. Alright, let's put a vampire mansion there. I'm probably gonna stop after this rotation. Because I'm about to die. 13% vampirism. You already know. Look how much I'm healing, man. You just can't get much better than that. You know what? We're going for 18 defense. We got vampirism from our armor. I think we can afford to get a shield that blocks more damage. Here's the goblin camp. Spawns a goblin on an adjacent tile once a day. There's only one adjacent tile to you. That doesn't seem very fair. Technically, if I wanted, I could oblivion this goblin camp. Just kill all the goblins. Plus 19% counter, that's pretty good too. Another vampire mansion. Ooh, extra vampirism from this as well. Okay. Can I go one more loop? It's getting kind of scary, isn't it? But I'm pretty high health. I'm pretty high health. We'll be fine. Let's have an oblivion if I really need it. Evasion 17%. What? That sounds crazy. I just evade 17% of the time? Okay. You know, I should have put this battlefield next to the camp. That way I can get the chest immediately. I also feel like maybe it would be worth trying to fight against a ghost. Ghosts could be fun. God, look at how many enemies there are on these tiles, bro. I might die low-key. Counter 17% could end up being pretty solid. I need extra accuracy or something, man. Oh, I should have put the meadow around here, maybe. Actually, I don't know if it matters. I healed off that slime. Pretty solid. Alright, there are 4 enemies on this tile. I could oblivion the tile if I wanted to. Or I could let it ride. There you go. Got rid of 1 spider. Ah. Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you. We remembered ourselves. Now give us all your things. You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first? You can do everything you want when I'm done. Goblin must rob. No other order in the world. Fair enough. Guess I don't have any good objection to that. Oh, wait. I do have one. How about you die? Bro, I'm getting freaking wrecked, man. Living and has a soul are apparently our status effects. And these guys can have. That's something. It's strange how these creatures appeared here on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad, and the world is trying to restore itself. That, or even the apocalypse, isn't enough to get rid of some pests. Probably the latter. Ever hear about cockroaches? Ooh. Okay. Extra evasion or extra vampirism? Honestly, we've got quite a bit of vampirism right now, so let's go ahead and use this weapon for extra damage. And evasion seems pretty good. Oh shoot, I'm getting destroyed? Okay, never mind, we're fine. Wouldn't rock that. Take that. Put another rock down. I could put another vampire mansion down if I wanted. The thing is, you don't have to play cards if you don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what these mean. Like these circles above the cards, I don't really know what they actually do, so whatever. I'm just gonna put cards, put guys down. Does I feel like it? Bid increases the boss timer. Oh, I didn't get another mount. That's fine. The spider cocoon, yeah. Okay, yeah, so this looks like those circles increase the boss timer. Could be a good thing, could be a very, very bad thing. I lose most of my vampirism if I put these down. Seems bad. I like having vampirism. Another battlefield. Okay. Oh, Lord. Lord help. Let's move these up here. I don't want to lose these quite yet. I might need them. Ooh, shoot. Okay, so I lose pure damage, but I get extra vampirism, damage to all, and counter. That's probably fine. The extra vampirism, maybe I can afford to get rid of this armor. I can pick up one of these instead. No. What do you mean, no? The harpy. See, all these enemies have cutscenes, and the artwork is just amazing. The lore, the world building. It's a really cool game. From what little I've seen of it, it's nice. You want to save the world. You want to ask for help. Our answer is no. How did you? Why no? We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time, there has been an emptiness instead of the sky, but it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way to save the world. That's why no one will ever join you. Fine. I don't fully understand it. Tell me your version. How do you see saving the world? And my progeny and kin, may they live and be strong. May they join the cycle of life and death. That is life. That is the world. I will kill you and feed your flesh to my starving younglings, and life will go on. And how many lives can your blade prolong as you kill again and again? Only one. I don't want you to die, and I don't want your children to die of hunger. Please, try to see reason. If my mission succeeds, the harpies can have all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need. I can't feed my children with your beautiful worlds. Farewell. Well, screw you, I'm gonna kill you. I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm causing another. There's no home for harpies except in the highest mountains. There's no food there. I can't even imagine how they manage to survive if their mountains were cut off from reality. It's a good question. And you know what? Maybe it's a bit of a plot hole that the harpies themselves ought to answer. I guess we can connect some groves. I don't think connecting groves actually does anything. Max HP plus counter. Not bad, but think this is the only other one. Like, these two are the only other ones that I would even consider using, but extra vampirism is pretty legit. We got a double cemetery going. Okay, road lantern. Let's use that here, I guess. There's a lot of enemies that can spawn in these areas, so. Another meadow. Yeah, I did not realize how putting two treasuries next to each other is actually really strong. I didn't think about that before. It's quite nice. Gotta admit. Y'all die? I am taking damage for days, man. Whoa! This armor's lit. This armor's meh. I only have 19% vampirism right now. That's not that great. Okay, should I do one more loop? I'm pretty sure if I do one more loop, I might have to fight the boss. So it's kind of spooky, but you know what? It's worth. I'm doing it. I believe. I believe that I will be strong enough. So I get extra counter and I trade evasion for vampirism. It's a hard decision for me. Cemetery. I can always use the oblivions to progress the boss meter if I'm not getting close enough. I'm gonna put a road lantern there. Another mountain and another mountain. Spider cocoon. You can go there because I don't know. Oh, I heal off the treasure chest. That's kind of funny. Because the vampirism. So I lose 12 evasion, but I get pure damage, damage to all, and regen per second. You know what? That's worth. I get extra vampirism, and I trade attack speed for counter. And regen per second for damage to all. That's a hard decision. Counter is pretty strong. Especially against tough enemies. Because it's like I'm trading part of my life total. Right? Using my life as a resource. That's what gaming's all about. Okay. Oh, I'm stupid. I kept thinking this was the start of the second round. Oh shoot, it was like a mimic. Okay. I can trade a level 7 ring, so I get extra evasion and attack speed. I lose out on some vampirism and counter. That's actually a hard sell. It's a lot of stats I can get from that, but nah, I'm fine. See, so I didn't get a vampire on this tile. Oh no, this is a freaking ghost thing. Oh god. I thought this was a vampire house. I was mistaken. Ignore what I was about to say. Alright, another spider cocoon. There you go. Okay, yeah, there you go. So I destroyed the treasury by placing meadows all around it. So I did know about that. Oh shoot, blooming meadows can also spawn from battlefields. I did not realize that. Okay, that's interesting. That's good to know. Should I put a beacon on top of the camp? The camp is where the boss is gonna spawn, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of spooky. I'm losing some of these old items, that's okay. I'm trading evasion again. I kind of like these stats, honestly. I think I'll keep them. Also, I like the attack speed more than the evasion here. Oh my god, the skeleton is doing so much damage to me. What? Okay, so I lose out in vampirism, but I gain evasion. Ooh, that's tough. I think I'm gonna take it though. Evasion is so good. And I have no evasion right now. If you can keep stacking evasion, like, you're gonna get so strong. Even more counter. But then I lose the evasion. I think I'll keep the evasion. Okay, I spawned the boss. Every palace increases the Lich's HP and damage. Well, luckily I can blow up the palace. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing, though. I should have put more tiles around the campfire. That's okay. Screw it. Let's just blow these up. I'm glad there's not a freaking vampire mansion next to that thing. Oh, I am taking a lot of damage, though. I might die before I get there. This is looking kind of sus. Maybe I should have retreated. I'm losing quite a few resources if I die here. Shoot, man. This is kind of bad. Okay. 32% attack speed is a lot. I should pop this treasury. Okay, I need to think about what items I want to use for the final boss fight. If I want to swap any of these out. I can swap the armor out last second to gain some health. I can also swap in the attack speed if I need to, but I think I'm not gonna. Extra counter could end up being useful, along with the regen per second. Level 6 weapon. Counter 11. That's really good. Wow, this shield is crazy. I don't have as much vampirism, but I have 11 evasion. I also lose a little bit of defense. That's okay, though. Okay, that's really good. It's really good. And I popped the treasury for even more items. Oh, shoot. A little bit less evasion, but I get more counter. I think evasion is probably better. Ooh. Evasion vampirism. Okay. I'm kind of stressed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm out here stressing. I am killing most of these palaces, which is really solid. If I can get one more Oblivion, that's huge. Then I can destroy all of the palaces. But yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage, a lot of heat coming my way. Spider cocoon. I don't freaking know. Just put it up there. Oh god. I am regenning a lot though. Battlefields. I'd rather not. Okay, I think there's gonna be... There might be one more new day. Maybe it's worth... No, I just popped this, right? The grove up there. Mountain. There. Empire Mansion, put those up there. I don't want it anywhere near the boss, okay? But yeah, there's gonna be one more new day, so I'm gonna get regen. I already got my regen though. Fine. Okay. Counter innovation. Okay. I have 500 health, but I don't know if that's a lot or a little. Ooh, this weapon gives me more damage. But I lose out on the counter. Oh my god, dude, the skeletons do so much damage. I evaded. We're chilling. 23 defense. Give me that. Give me those items. What'd I get? Nothing. Nothing good. Okay, I mean... I think this is it. I don't know if you can actually change equipment during combat, but if you can, I might. Alright, should I change the game speed? Change it to 1 times, make it climactic. Oh shoot, I can retreat if I want. I only have 455 health, that's not a lot. But imagine the story. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I die, I lose everything, right? And that seems pretty bad. But like, just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine the storylines, but also the waste of time. I'm staying. I'm gonna kill you. How is it possible? That's right. You didn't devour me like the rest of the world. Haven't I? You really don't think so? What are you talking about? I'm standing right in front of you. I consumed all of your reality. Its every element now rests in a separate pocket dimension. Spaces, living beings, information, even memories. They shall remain there until entropy does its work, turning everything into a uniform static mess. Along with you, of course. You're insane. So, what do we have here? I see. You found a way to interact with other pieces of your reality, organizing, combining, and merging them. But how? I don't see any exceptional talents or knowledge in you. You hardly even understand what's happening, right? I'll tell you what's happening. A pile of bones is butchering my world and thinks that it can get away with it. You're already doomed and you know it. Perhaps you're just the first in a series of systematic errors. A problem I must learn to solve. Let's not waste any time then. I don't think you're capable of feeling regret, but I'm about to change that. Two evades in a row? 148 damage? I'm dead, bro. I'm freaking dead. Well, it was nice knowing y'all. I keep 30% of all resources found. Okay, that's not the worst. It's kind of bad, but I can't believe it. Hey everybody, the boy managed to return. Survivors. Does this mean I'm not alone anymore? Where did you come from? Is there still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from. That or we can't remember. These few people are all that's left of our group, I think. You're not sure? We're not sure. We've reached that conclusion based on the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. Each day we see the signs of other people's presence around us. But as far as we know, they don't exist and never did. It's like we forgot them. Forgot them. Exactly. It's as if people are disappearing every day and we instantly forget they existed. Just like we forgot where we came from. And our families. Maybe even ourselves. My name's Yoda. That I still remember. Everyone else's memories are not much better. That's why I remember so little about myself. Everything is forgotten. Wait, you said I managed to return. That means you remember I was here? Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't keep wandering in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire here and enough space for a few sleeping bags. Real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Of course you can stay. I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to put everything right. I'm only beginning to remember the world as it was before. But there's no point to it without other people. It's too lonely without them. It's too lonely. Remember the world? I don't get what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted. But we'll be glad if you could help us, and we'll be glad to help you. Just don't ask us to follow you out there. I don't know how you managed to return. But for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. I will ask no such thing of you. Now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. We weren't joking about helping you. Here are the few things that survive the cataclysm and don't vanish. Don't become forgotten. Take it. You might need it. Thanks! I wish I had a few more resources, but I kinda lost them. Sorry. Resources lost. Lost my rations. I only had one ration. Orb of expansion. Metamorphoses. Oh my god. I can build a field. I can build a field kitchen, and that's it. Oh my god. Could have built an herbalist's hut as well. I don't think I could have built a smithy. I don't even know. What is this? Steel metal. I'll put the field kitchen over here. Connected to your boy. Do you know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? The food made by a good cook is tastier. What? You were waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, a bucket of potatoes, 3 onions, and some ham. Nothing special. Everything is very simple. But give me a few minutes and everyone in this camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew. I believe you. Upgrade building. Alright, well. Unfortunate, but that's all that I can build right now. Oh, man. My bad. Chrono crystals. That was the effect of a day's passing on the tiles around it. I mean, that seems pretty useful. How did I unlock that? I can also turn on the blood grove, but then I have to get rid of something. You know what? Let's just get rid of the freaking beacon. Wait, you know what? The beacon's actually good with battlefields. I just realized. Because it's each loop. as opposed to each day. Okay, you know what, the cemetery is kind of spooky, but I need once a day. The blood grub is good because it can kill enemies, but I guess it can also do bad things. May spawn something dreadful from their remains. So maybe it could do bad things. It also executes enemies, though. I wonder if this works on the Lich boss. That'd be interesting. I must want to get rid of the spider cocoon. I don't really want to get rid of it. You know what? Let's just get... Oh, no, I can't get rid of it. Okay, let's get rid of the spider cocoon. It's fine. We'll be fine. Start. Let's go maximum combat speed. I want to go maximum combat speed for the boss, too, because low-key, that was pretty slow. Well, we're back in the beginning, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's fine. Really good spot for this beacon. I guess I'll just put it over here. And then we'll put a rock over here. And let's put the rock over here. Oh, I'm silly. I should put the rocks... I need to form a mountain, don't I? Okay, now I can put a grove. Let's do a grove over here. And we'll try to put a blood grove next to the campfire. Maybe? Maybe the blood grove will save me. Vampire Mansion. Sure, I'll put it there. Treasury. So I can put it here. Because then I can put other tiles here, right? Yeah. Okay. And I didn't realize that the treasuries spawned gargoyles. I don't think I've seen a gargoyle. Oh shoot, the chrono crystals. Okay. The chrono crystals, I think that I want to put those next to meadows. That way I gain more health. But I think that I want to put them next to, like, in the corners. So I would want to wait until I have another treasury to put down. Maybe put it in the corners. I've not gotten, like, any equipment, by the way. This might be an early exit for me. Road lantern. Alright, let's definitely put the road lantern here. Finally, a piece of equipment. Jesus. Another meadow. Another meadow. Solid. Okay, we've almost got a mountain. Which is both good and bad. It'll be bad because of the goblins, but I'm gonna wait for another treasury. If possible. I don't know what the maximum number of cards I can have is. Screw it, man. Let's put more beacons down, I guess. Okay, we finally got another weapon. Oh, I should have put that on before I went to the... whatever. Or I was not paying attention, clearly. Cool. No rings yet. And really not a lot of enemy tiles, man. This is pretty messed up. Okay. Mountain. And then a wall. I've got meadows stocked up. I've also got chrono crystals stocked up. Maybe it's worth it just to put the chrono crystals down and not worry about the treasury. I don't know. Like, I don't need to double up on the treasury. It just would be nice. Oh, you know what? I can put the meadows here. That's like free. Okay, bam. Blood growth. Hopefully that'll suck some enemies. Be chillin'. Nice. 4 damage to all is actually pretty solid. Keep that. Another rock. Oh my god, this goblin camp, bro. I definitely need to put a road lantern near this goblin camp. Yeah, these guys spawn like crazy. I didn't realize I had a ring. I was not looking at that ring at all. I lose 8% counter, get more damage to all and regen per second. I'll take that, honestly. The regen might be really good. Ooh. 8. Oh my god. My counter stat is kind of crazy right now, actually. If I can get like 100% counter, I mean, that's pretty good. Even more counter. I lose damage, but I gain counter. Honestly, I think I'd rather have the damage, though. Ooh, a battlefield. Okay. So I'll put a battlefield here. I don't want it where a bunch of enemies will spawn. I don't know, maybe ghost equipment's good though. Strictly worst weapon, thank you. Haven't got any vampire mansions yet, so haven't really. Oh wait, no, I have the one vampire mansion. Excuse me. Still, it's still a little bit rough. I don't have really any vampirism. My regen's kind of low too. Ooh, wow. That's pretty good. Die, harpy. Ouch. That hurt, but it's not the worst. I really don't want to give up on the chrono crystals plan with the treasury. It's looking harder and harder. Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna take this extra attack speed. The counter is okay, but I don't know, man. It's only useful against certain enemies. All right, screw it. I'm going in hot. Oh, the chrono crystals can only go down over here, so I was actually kind of wasting my time anyways. Oh shoot, the blooming meadow got buffed by the chrono crystals, I guess. It's kind of lit. Nice. Whoa, and look at what I got, my god. I got some nice equipment here. Extra vampirism. Yes, please. Okay, and then I can put a road lantern down. Wow. Probably have to put one here because it covers the most tiles next to the goblin. Okay, I'm feeling much better about this run now that I've blown up a treasury. I don't know how these chrono crystals actually stack, if they stack at all. It might have been a waste to put them next to each other. Counter and damage to all and trade for regen per second. I don't know, regen per second is pretty solid, I have to admit. But counter is not bad. Damage to all 4 can be decent. Another vampire mansion. I want to put it on somewhere that's kind of weak. Right there. Okay, so I can't... I guess I could put the meadow next to the battlefield, which could be funny. Or I'll save the meadow for a treasury. If I ever get one. That's a lot of damage. Wow. Actually, a really significant damage increase. It might even be worth the loss of the extra stats. Nah. Okay, so something I've learned, right, with these blood groves, you want to put them in areas with lots of enemies, right? That way you get the most value, obviously. So that means is that you want to put them next to these kind of corners. That way you can get them. You can put the blood grove in that corner, so it hits like all the enemies. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do that at least. I'm full health. Wow. Just straight up 35 defense. You know what? Fine. I'll take it. Wow. That's pretty good. I spawned a gargoyle. There he is. Another battlefield. What was I thinking about battlefields again? I don't remember. Oh, I think I wanted to put it next to the spawn somewhere. That way I could get, like, value. Because I can, like, get it immediately. I can pick it up, but... oh, whatever, let's put it there. Like, early on in the loop, I can pick up the chest in case it contains something really strong. I guess was the idea. Yeah, let's put it there. Another vampire mansion. Put it up there. The treasury's a little bit sad, but it's not a big deal. We don't need a treasury. We'll be fine. Get wrecked. Another beacon. I guess I could put the beacons, like, not there. Put it, like, other places. There you go. All enemies that are not objects or artificial gain vampirism. He's undead, vampire, and has a soul. Another time crystal. Alright, just put them all next to each other, why not? Screw it. Get extra attack speed in exchange for vampirism. And a little bit of extra damage. I don't know if that's worth. I do have 7 damage to all, which is pretty strong. With attack speed, it's better. I don't have any pure damage, though. That's one of the interesting things, right? Is like, if you have more pure damage or damage to all, then it's better to have some more attack speed in general, because then you can benefit more from those. We've done it. Nice. We finally got another treasure. Oh my god, 2 goblin camps right next to each other. Oh my god. That's pretty good. I was thinking about putting, yeah. Look, I have vampirism and attack speed on 1 weapon. That's pretty good. I don't really remember what I was talking about. Something about attack speed and the on-hit effects, basically. This comes from a League of Legends player, so take my words with a grain of salt. Evasion's good. 7 pure damage also is nice. Bro, how about a cemetery next to a battlefield? Nothing. Oh my god, the gargoyle? Oh, never mind. I thought he was tanking the hits. 28 attack speed and 7 pure damage. Holy moly. 10 defense or 3 regen per second. Honestly, regen per second might be better. I don't know. I don't know how defense works is the problem. So like, these guys have 35, 28, and 28 damage. And their damage is getting reduced, but it's not like a flat rate. You know, I'm going to take the regen per second, because I feel like that might be better. Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't really play this game. Because I've just started, so I don't really know. Yo, my build is looking pretty hot, though. Also, like, look at my health. I'm just not taking damage ever. Dude, the regen is insane. Low-key, the regen might be better than vampirism, by the way. It's like, how many attacks per second am I really getting, right? Like, 3 regen per second versus 20% vampirism, even if we assume I'm doing like 43, well, maybe that's a lot, actually. You know, the extra vampirism might be worth it. But, you know, the extra regen per second is also good. It's also good, okay? Okay, I'll put a grove here. Cemetery. Whatever, put it there. Extra evasion. Regen per second versus vampirism. Max HP damage to all. It's too many decisions. I can't possibly make all these decisions. So I lose vampirism, but I gain counter, defense, and pure damage. I have 44% vampirism. I feel like it's worth it to lose that. Oh, you can lock equipment. Yeah, that's a lot easier than what I was trying to do. The extra counter might be better against the boss. So maybe I'll keep this for the boss. And then again, the extra evasion might be better for the boss, actually. I don't think I want this. I might take this for the evasion when it comes to boss time. I think I'll keep the vampirism for now. Oh my god, the skeletons, bro. Pure damage, damage to all, and attack speed. Wow. I'm taking that. I lose so much attack speed, but that's fine. Because what is that? That's crazy. So much damage for free. Like 11 pure damage is nothing to laugh at, okay? Okay. Vampire Mansion. Attack speed vampirism or counter vampirism? Counter vampirism. Is this the same ring I was just looking at? Am I crazy? Well, I was looking at a weapon. Ew. I don't know, is counter good against the boss? I feel like it would be. Just my opinion. Because, like, the boss does so much damage, right? So naturally, wouldn't you want to counter damage that he does? I don't know. I should have put the metal down. Am I gonna have to do another loop? Low-key one more loop might be better though. Gives me more time to prep. Level 10. Just a bunch of max HP. Okay. I'm thinking too much, maybe. I just don't want to die. I died once, I don't want to die again. What the heck is this thing? Oh no, it's a blood grove enemy. I don't even know what that means. I just know that it's gonna hit. Ooh, 6 regen per second is pretty good. That's a lot of regen, actually. Oh my god. Okay, we killed it. We're chilling. I lose 10% vampirism for extra attack speed counter? Yeah, let's just take that. This has got to be better. 4 damage to all versus pure damage and attack speed. I think that's better. Let's go ahead and keep the ring just in case. And we got another blood grove. It's not really a good place to put it though. Road lantern. Yeah, I want to put it here, but I'll just put it up here. Why are all the goblin cans right next to each other? You know what? Let's put it right here. Heard one of those goblins. Okay. So this will be the last loop for sure. I don't really know if this works the way that I want it to, where I'm just gonna like stop the boss from spawning buildings. I don't know if that's actually what's gonna happen, or if he's just gonna say, like, screw you. Invasion 20. Wow. Okay. I think I might need to put some meadows down. Oh, okay. Well, there's the boss. Okay, so there's 4 palaces. We can destroy 4 of them. The blood growth is still there. That's good. Okay, cool. I think we are actually... I think this will be okay. God, the scalpels are doing so much damage though. 18% evasion. That's pretty good. Low-key, I might even keep this armor. I might not even need to change my equipment up, actually. Might be fine as is. I feel like I'm pretty strong. Time crystal up there. Put these meadows up here. I can put a grove somewhere if I wanted to eat some people. Let's put it here. Blood grove there. And that's probably fine. A lot of defense on a shield. 43 defense is a lot, but the 12% counter and attack speed and vampirism, I feel like it's gotta be better. I'd probably be putting rocks near mountains, wherever possible. Ooh. No, that's not that much better than what I've got. It's 2 levels higher, but it's lower rarity. Okay, see this run around, I'm gonna be much closer to max HP, so I think I'm gonna be doing a lot better. %9 counter, 14% vampirism. I think that's better than this ring. Counter, no, that ring's not worth it. Or the shield, rather. Okay. Kill these guys. Nice. No ghosts, we're chilling. 7% counter. 10 defense is a lot. Ooh, a battlefield. No, I don't know why I would want another battlefield. Whatever, I'll just put one right there. Turn that into a blooming meadow. Perfect. Let's make another meadow. Another blooming meadow, rather. If I can get another Oblivion, that's super clutch. Dude, I low-key might equip this common sword. Just because of the extra damage. I don't know, the attack speed and vampirism are pretty solid. It's hard. 20% counter. I think I'm gonna keep the counter sword, or spear rather. I ended up getting another treasury. I also got another Oblivion. Sweet. We killed all of his palaces. The only problem is now we're taking a lot of damage compared to what we were taking before. Also, I don't think we're gonna get another day. Oh my god, look at our health, man. It's so not good. Regen per second. Is regen per second better than vampirism? Might be. Okay. Put another meadow up here, and then another meadow over here. We'll do a rock, mountain, and we'll go fight these. Nice. Got another meadow. Okay. We also got another treasury. Not much to do with it though. Blood grove and a blood grove. Okay. Counter versus attack speed and vampirism. Also regen per second. Honestly, I think the things I have on might actually be the best. The only thing I can think is evasion, because I don't have no evasion right now. But what's the most evasion that I can even get? It's just literally just this 14%. I don't think that's worth it. Okay, we're doing it this time. I'm not gonna run because I believe. I'm spooked, but I believe. How is it possible? Shut up. We have a score to settle. Oh my god, it's close, but I think we're gonna win. Yes! The freaking blood grove, bro! The blood grove! Nonsense. This is impossible for so many reasons. I don't understand. Now put everything back the way it was. I can't. I've already completed my task, even if the result is not perfect. You are in no position to refuse, you sack of bones. He's already received everything I could gather. I just wanted to see how our crusade against the universe would end, to witness what would come of it. My presence is no longer required. Who is he? I get it. You're connected somehow, right? That's why. You will find out soon enough. This anomaly will not escape his attention. My explanation would be meaningless to you now. So spare me your wheezing and just die. That sack of bones was telling the truth. I have a long journey ahead. I will build my whole world from scratch if I have to. And the skull of that monster will be the first brick in its foundation. Wow. So powerful. And I got some equipment. That's cool, I guess. Oh, I can stay? I could stay. I don't think I want to. I think I'm gonna run. Everybody, listen. The Lich is dead. The curse has been lifted, but... What Lich? And what curse? I believe you, of course, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You don't remember the dead sorcerer? The one with the fur coat and scepter, shrouded in nebulas, floating above the world on big shining wings, consuming it piece by piece? That's strange. And everything here does look the same. Why? Guess he wasn't the only reason for this darkness then. Ugh. That skeleton mentioned him. Whoever he is, he must have something to do with the obliteration of the world. Seems I have no other option but to continue my expeditions. True. Alright, so I can make a refuge, unlock a new class. That's interesting. I don't know what that means. I like the ability to gain special traits for killing enough enemies during an expedition. That's cool. I also unlocked the village. Provide basic warrior gear at the start of each expedition. Unlock the ability to craft tools for the camp. Supply depot is built, which it is not. I can also get potions, and I unlock the swap card. I think I'm going to build this. The gymnasium, aka gymnasium. Seems pretty cool. I guess I'll connect to this camp over here. Huh, I see. Don't have to rack your brains for old facts if you can just learn them again. Nice trick. There's no trickery here. Without education, we would degrade into savagery. You know, you could also learn something new. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. Nah, I already know all I need. I'll leave lessons to the kids. What? And here's your first lesson. Learn to enjoy learning. That would make life easier for you and me both. He's so edgy. Available supply slots. Okay, I don't really know what that means. But I guess I can put something in there. Oh my god, look at these materials, bro. This game might be a lot bigger than I realized. I can't make the refuge, and I can't make a smithy, but I can make an herbalist hut, which I feel like I might as well do.
It's a miracle we could find some fertile soil, and by a miracle, saved some seeds and precious healing herbs.
The real miracle is that all these healing poultices and balms still have some effect.
We already lost many people because of the cataclysm. It would be nice not to lose more to any diseases. And these potions can help you as well. Take a vial or two on your trip, and your chances of getting back in one piece will be much higher.
Thank you. Book of Memories. Alright. All empty tiles around the farm are transformed into gardens after an expedition. It gives you one rest for every completed loop, but not more than there are garden tiles around the farm. You can build something over the garden. Unlocks the ability to craft food. If the supply depot is built, unlocks the wheat fields card. Okay, so I guess it makes sense to put the thing in a place with a lot of empty tiles, right? Presumably. Like out here. I don't think they allow that. Alright. That's all I got for this, I guess. A trait deck. I don't really know what this means. But I guess these are the different traits that I can get. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. That's cool, I guess. Then I've got these. Okay, so village and swamp. So I can get a quest. All healing effects are lethal here, except for the potions. They're still on your side. Okay, I don't like the swamp, so I'm good. Thank you, though. And you know what? Let's get rid of this cemetery. I like the village a little bit more. Alright. Sure, let's, I mean, I only have like 25-ish minutes before end of stream, but I'll go and start a new loop. I'm down. I'm down for that. Up to 3 potions. So I have to use my potions before going, otherwise there's no point. Oh, I just realized here's my, I didn't realize that my class had like benefits. Oh, when you get stats based on your class. Okay, so vampirism is unique to the warrior class. Has the highest durability compared to other classes. Enemy strength growth plus 2% per loop. Oh, this is chapter 1 if I wanted to play chapter 1 again. I don't think that I do. I think I'll play chapter 2. Enemies have 0 to 1 abilities. Enemies have 1 to 2 abilities. Enemies are stronger and they gain more strength per loop. But also I have more resources and I can get more of a resource. Yeah, I mean, makes sense to play chapter 2, I feel like, right? Okay. Here's health and XP point. Okay, so the XP I assume is the traits. So I'll get more traits by gaining XP. I'm curious if enemies, their XP matters. Like if the XP that they give, it changes based on their strength as an enemy. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I struggled really hard there for some reason. Alright, let's go ahead and put a mountain up here. I don't know if you can make multiple mountains. And even if you can, I actually don't know if it's worth it either. Ah. Treasury. You know, I guess I should put the treasuries next to the road. Time crystals. It's a little bit late for that though, isn't it? Oopsie. Oh, this is better. Whoa! Swarm of bats. He just spawned a swarm of bats. I don't know how or why, but that happened. Okay, I've got a time crystal. Kinda... Whatever, I'll put the chrono crystals over here. And I'll try and stack some treasuries up here, maybe, if I can get more than this one. Defense, vampirism, or pure damage. 4 pure damage is a lot considering how low my damage is, to be honest. Another beacon. The benefit of the beacon is that I go around the loop more times. But I guess the not benefit is that I don't get as many days. I don't think that actually matters though. It's a big road here. Pure damage. Dude, all my equipment's freaking level 1, man. Not really what I'm looking for. I wonder if you get more benefit from having only mountains in your mountain peak or whatever. Curious. The treasury here. We'll go ahead and complete that meadow. Might as well. Or complete this treasury rather. Put the meadow near the treasury. Hopefully no goblin camps spawn near my time crystals. That would be kind of bad. Cool. 12% counter. That's actually not good. Like, it's actually just bad. Whenever the enemies do so little damage. Technically, I don't need to put meadows around here, but I would rather put mountains up there, so I think it makes sense to fill in the meadows around the treasury. And there you go. Pop this treasury. Bam. Pure damage is good, I guess. Another beacon. Bam. Made a mountain. I think it actually looks like it's better to just make a mountain peak out of rocks, since the max HP doesn't change based on what components you use to make it. Battlefield. Put it right there. A village. Grants gives you a quest. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna put the village right here, because I think that's cool. Oh, sweet. That is a pure upgrade. I've got a lot of pure damage right now. Okay, so I got a quest. I don't know what that means. Where's my quest? Alright, whatever. I don't break it now. It's fine. Oh, the quest is, I guess, to kill this guy. Plus 200% HP. I don't know what that means, but it's cool, I guess. That's a lot of defense. Okay, I almost have enough XP for a trait, so that'll be fun to see what that's about. Also, I'm realizing the strength of the enemies does determine the amount of XP you get for your traits. I'm surprised I haven't gotten one yet, actually. I've gone through 4 loops. Maybe I did get one and I just missed it. Also, I should probably be using these potions. I am forgetting about those. This feels better. I think the extra attack speed over the pure damage might be better. Actually, maybe not. To be honest, the pure damage is a lot of my damage right now. Pure damage is like 20% of my damage. Got a lot of it. 9 pure damage on attack. It's a bit silly. Ah. I can get a new trait. Okay. 10% chance upon hit of stunning target. 10% chance to keep the card after placing its tile. It doesn't work for the golden cards. Hero deals plus 1.5 damage for every potion used since this trait is taken. But I can't use the potion? Okay, so I can only use it whenever I'm like about to die, is what you're telling me. Well, that's unfortunate. Because I don't think I'm dying anytime soon. That's fine, I guess. I took that trait just to experiment. Now I know. It's actually not that useful. 17% evasion is huge. That is a lot of evasion. Okay, I got 2 quests. And also there's a harpy. Another blood grove. Yeah, I'll put it there. A better weapon. I have 27% evasion right now. That's nice. Okay, the pure damage is mattering less and less. You know what, fine, I'll just equip that, whatever. I don't even need vampirism. If I use potions, I'm gonna do more damage, so... Low-key, it might be better to use potions. I don't think I can force it. Sadly. Okay, So my quest is on this guy. So I can actually see which enemies have the quests. It's kind of useful. I guess I ought to put mountains in open spaces, right? Where there are going to be more things. Where's the hero? He's right here. What a village right here. Nice. Another quest. Just never-ending quests. Oh, and there's a goblin hut right next to the vampires. That's cool. I like that. Cool. Just a better shield. Straight up. Quest. Oh, I'm so stupid. Quest goal plus 20% HP. That just means the enemy's stronger. What does doing the quest actually do? I don't know. I almost don't even want to put a Chrono Crystal anywhere. There's a guy there. Is that like a traveling salesman or something? Vampirism for evasion. It's tough. I mean, evasion is a really strong stat, but I could heal a lot more with vampirism. Maybe doing quests just gives me more cards? Can y'all die? Thank you. It's way too much damage. Oh, there's a bandit camp. Every 2 village tiles, there's a bandit. And they like to spawn on top of villages. Okay, that's fun. Thanks, man. There you go. This run is looking rough. I won't lie. This loop. Okay. Defense, counter, and max HP. Not bad. I lose the vampirism though. You know, I'm gonna put that on. 17% vampirism. I might need it. Like, potions are good, obviously, but I mean, they can only do so much. I shouldn't have taken that trait. That trait is freaking useless. Man. Oh, I just used a potion. Sweet. I wasn't even dying, I just used it for fun. I'm taking so much damage though, bro. This is messed up. Give me something good. That is a good weapon. And you know what? Regen per second plus evasion. You've piqued my interest. Yowza. Enemies are way stronger in Chapter 2, it seems. Do I want extra regen per second or more evasion? Dude, regen per second might be necessary to not die. Low key. $13 pure damage, that's a lot of damage. Damn. Okay, let's put the rock down. Mountain. I'll put some more rocks around the mountains. Got a grove. I haven't gotten any more bloody groves, which is kind of sad. I think we're doing okay, though. Yeah, I'll definitely take this shield. I'm still thinking about the extra regen per second. 8 evasion's pretty good, though. Oh, it's a bandit. Hey, I don't remember you. You don't look like a local. That's because I'm not. I see. And you think you can just wander these parts without consequences? Times are rough, you know. Nothing to bite, nothing to wet one's whistle. And we have to deal with strangers who have no sympathy for our poverty. What, you think you're better than us? No. Did I guess right? Is this the correct answer? So I'm getting the impression this is one of those cases where my answer has zero influence on what happens next. Well, you've got insight, and it's the only thing you'll keep today. Oh my god, the bandits are doing damage to me. Ouch. Come to think of it, murderers and thieves are part of this world too. My mission is to return everything back to normal. Should I be happy they're appearing again? On the other hand, being disgusted with murder and theft is also part of this world. So I guess I don't owe it to anyone to be happy. True. That's so true. I just barely escaped another bandit. Let's go. Okay. Oh my god, look at how many enemies there are, bro. Am I gonna die? No, I died. What the heck, man? I lost so much stuff. I'm alive? But how? Thanks to us. A small group of us dragged you back here. It wasn't easy. Did you fight off all those monsters? They nearly killed me. That's also interesting. And even more vanishing right before our eyes. Some we managed to avoid, but I think most of the monsters were gone before we left the camp. I think your trips are deeply connected to your memory, my friend. It all fades away as soon as you space out for long enough. So he's the one bringing all the monsters back. Interesting. Alright, well, alas, I have died. Whoa, the cemetery grants you a memory fragment. I passed through a cemetery, so it makes cemeteries actually useful. You know what? I think I might have to go back to Expedition 1. Because I'm getting wrecked. I won't lie. 15 plus 5 times loop. Vampires. Chests, blood groves, road lanterns, chrono crystals. I guess I don't really have a ton of enemy tiles, do I? It's really only the grove. It's the only thing that spawns enemies. I mean, previously it was like the spider cocoon spawned a lot of enemies. Maybe I don't want the road lantern. But the road lantern stops it from getting overwhelming, though. Also kind of want Oblivion. Vampire Mansion? Maybe I should get rid of Vampire Mansion. Vampires are really strong. They're kind of spooky. Let's try this. Let's try the Spider Cocoon instead of the Vampire Mansion. I like the Treasury, I like the Beacon, and I like Oblivion. Chrono Crystals... I could definitely consider getting rid of the Chrono Crystals, honestly. They're not as good as I thought they would be. Because really they're only useful with, like, meadows. But you get such little value out of them. I'll try it. But, even though I said I'd try it, I've only got a couple minutes left in the stream, so... I don't know, I think... Is it time? Orb of Immortality. Maybe I should call it quits. Orb of Expansion, Orb of Evolution. Okay. Plus 2% to potion healing effect, and plus 2 potions to carry with you. That's pretty good. I don't know how many chapters there are in this game. I feel like I remember seeing there were only like 3. There might be more. I mean, there's so many things you can build. Like, you'd have to imagine it's more than 3, unless the chapters are really difficult. But, yeah, I'm digging the game so far, honestly. Like, the gameplay loop, it's relatively simple, but I think it's cool enough. Like, just putting things on the map, you know, and, like, there is definitely an element of strategy to it. And then, obviously, the expansion elements of, like, expanding your base. I mean, everybody loves expanding bases, right? So, can't complain. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be it from me for today's stream. I don't want to start a loop and then quit immediately, so, I guess that's all I got. Maximum number of loops in a single expedition, 10. Loops completed totalist, only 20. Oof. Had to retreat once. Killed a lot of things, mostly slimes and rat wolves. Ghosts of ghosts. Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's kind of funny. How many layers deep can you get? Can you get a ghost of a ghost of a ghost? Fastest defeat of the Lich, 10 loops. Slowest defeat of the Lich, 10 loops. Chapter 1 speedrun, 31 minutes. Or 1 chapter speedrun, I guess. I've died to a goblin leader and a lich. Yeah, you know, those goblins are no joke, okay? They're pretty strong. Pieces of the World Forgotten. Oh, maybe that's cards that I wasn't able to acquire because my inventory was full? Noticeable changes. That's a material, apparently. God, this game's crazy. My God, I've lost so many freaking resources, bro. I don't know, the stable metal is the one that hurts the most, because look how many I lost. So the metamorphosis is also kind of a big deal. Because I use them for, like, building and upgrading and stuff. If I had another metamorphosis, I could make a farm. If I had another metal, I could make a smithy. Yeah. Anyways. Alright. I've rambled on for long enough. I went over time, so I am going to exit the game and say thank you for all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. It was, you know, relatively, I don't know, laid back stream, I guess. I didn't really say much. I was mostly just talking about the game because there wasn't much to talk about. But, yeah, hopefully it was still entertaining nonetheless. Managed to beat Chapter 1 today. I almost beat it on my first try. Kind of. I'm going to say almost, but it wasn't like, it wasn't that close, but it was closer than you might think it would have been, so can't really complain about that. But, yeah, I think next time we're going to do another loop around Chapter 1. Maybe try and build up some of our other, buildings, get some upgrades, and maybe I'll take another crack at Chapter 2. I do have a little bit more knowledge this time around, so hopefully I won't get as destroyed that time. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. Not much else for me to say. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you all 2 days from now. I will say it is possible I might end up starting stream a bit later. I don't know. I'm gonna be doing some kind of an event. I don't think it should take super long, but it is possible. That it could end up taking longer than usual. Anyways, I don't know. Point is, I might end up starting later than usual. If it happens, sorry. If it doesn't happen, continue like usual. Sounds good? Alright, cool. Everybody's good. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Good rest of your day or rest of your night. Whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. Like I said, hope to see you next time. I'm out of here. Peace out.